Hi guys, it's Jen from Just Jen Cosplay, and with 1 week till MCM, it's frantic mad dash to get all the little bits done before the day. So number one, I was showing you my old booties. I made some new ones. So I'd shown you as far as making the actual boot cover and then painting the EVA foam. So just the last bits here. So I've done 2 layers of white and then two layers of purple. Just that gives me the base colour. Then I've painted on the silver bits around that. So I'm just going to do the silver bits on here as well. And then it's a case of doing I'll attach it to the shoe and then I'll start doing the shading once it's on the shoe and everything. I know that everything's sort of ready to go, I guess. Yeah. So here we go, it's all fully done up. There's the Velcro on the back. Just put a bit of cling film underneath, so that I don't get any glue on the boot when I put this on. And there's a little sole thing on the bottom. So now I've got my glue and my little bit all ready to go. So this has got all the silver painted on it and the purple. So I'm literally just going to cover the back in glue and then I'll be sticking it on. So here we go. After sticking the 3 bits on, coming up a little bit, so I'm just going to have to double check and make sure that that's right. But there we go. Lovely jubbly. Woo! Here we go. And this is the finished result. So I've got a little gap here. Obviously the boot, what's it called? Heel. The heel goes through there. And that's the sole on the bottom there. So there we go. Lovely jubbly. And it just undoes, fits on the shoe, and then does up. Simple as that. Lovely jubbly. I'm really pleased actually with how this has come out. It's not perfect in terms of what she's got because of these fairly big gaps, but I feel like the overall looks a lot better than the cheap ass booties. What else have I been doing? So I showed you the claws. So this is one finished side. A lot easier for me to just generally do anything. And so I've done all the other claws. It's just I decided to keep this one intact just for this video, so that I could show you how much lighter they are as well, because obviously this is double warbler and then the foam in the middle, so these are really heavy and thick, whereas these are really light and dangly and a lot less cumbersome than this. So really pleased with how that's done. So I literally just have to pull these off, and then just shows you how well the hot glue sticks, because this is then like ripping out the foam. Not that I've got any real use for these. It's not like, because if the foam's in them, it's not like I could melt them back down and reuse them or something. Obviously I've painted them. So yeah, just a case of ripping them off, getting rid of the excess foam, and then sticking the new ones on, and then they'll all be done. That won't take me particularly long. I think I've already shown you that I've fixed the breastplate. So the only other sort of bit that I'm really doing is this. So this is my plan. Put together a little making of book, and it literally just goes through the making of. So the stuff that I've shown you, there's the video of the making of. Most of these pictures feature during that. So yeah, just goes all the way through where I've made mistakes. I've written in there what I did. So I don't think I went over this in the video. I've just literally gone past it because I just saw it. So I initially tried to make the skulls out of expanding foam, because that's pretty cheap. It was really, I thought it was a good way of doing it, but they, as you can see from the picture, they weren't particularly well done. So then I went on to making them out of air drying clay, and they looked way better. yeah, so that's what I've put together. One of the things that somebody came up with was a really good idea. Somebody I was talking to the other day, and they came up with the idea of you can make what are they called, QR codes that people can scan. So my plan was probably to put in a QR code or a couple of them in here, which would have my links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and potentially YouTube. I don't know why people would do that, but then if they're taking pictures of me, they can then also take a picture of the QR codes and then tag me in them, because that's definitely one of the things that I found in the first, definitely in London Film and Comic Con. There just was a lot of people that took pictures of me, but I had no cards or anything to give them. I kind of feel a little bit like having a business card makes me seem a bit presumptuous, like, hey, look at me, everybody wants to take pictures of me and tag me in them. Whereas this way it will give me the opportunity to allow people to tag me in them without having to print off lots of things. So hopefully that'll do. What else is there? I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to do in terms of Lady Sylvanas. There's a couple of bits that I wanted to maybe look at, but I'll just do a final cos test next week. Oh, I still need to fix the quiver, but that'll take me like 5 minutes. So why haven't I done it? It's because I'm crazy. Literally, I've had such tiny little things to do. I've left it right till the last minute, and as most of you will know from my last video, I now have a dog. So that was really dumb. I've basically given myself con crush. Yeah. The other thing that I was going to maybe show you, I ordered just a couple of bits, a white belt, and a crisscrossy top. That's for another cosplay that I'm looking at doing. So once I put that together, I'll let you know. That was a really simple idea of just take some really quick, but buy a couple of bits and put together something rather than making it all. I'll have to still make the coat because that you can't just buy. But yeah, that's that. And then just finishing these off. Oh, I know, one more thing to show you is, so one of the things I talked about was how long it took me to put the makeup on. So it was 3 hours, near enough, to put on the makeup for Lady Sylvanas. And to be honest with you, I wasn't massively happy with a lot of the photos. It's sort of smudged by the time you've got to that level, that time in the day. And obviously blue everywhere, blue on everything. Blue on all of the things that I own. But it just means that obviously if I'm going to the MCM at the standard time rather than the early bird, or priority I think they call it. So that's 11 o'clock you can go in. Obviously it takes an hour for me to get there. So we're looking at leaving at least 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'd have to wake up and be starting to put my makeup on before 7 o'clock in the morning. On a Sunday. I don't feel like that's a really good idea at all. So I came up with a little idea that I tested, which was just this idea to do a band of blue. So it gives the impression, and she still have the grey lines, but without having to have everything blue. Obviously still blue lips as well. So here's a little taster. Ooh. Hey, so one of the things I wanted to try was a little bit of a different makeup for Lady Sylvanas. So rather than a full blue makeup, it was just a partial. So I'd still go with the blue lipstick. Obviously much better done than that. It's just to give a general idea. And then just going with a sort of a sweep of colour across the eyes here. just because it took me so long to do the full makeup last time. As I've said before, it's about 2.5 hours. But if I can take it down to even just 1 hour, then it would make a huge difference for me. How much of a pain this costume is. So obviously one of the things to be aware of is that I have fake eyebrows on. I've got my big grey eyebrows sticking off. Obviously I've got the wig, which I'll be wearing. Of course, also it will reduce the amount of time it takes me to get out of the costume at the other end as well. Now obviously I'm doing this on a completely unmade up face, so the rest of me would have my normal makeup on. And then it would just be a case of doing my pointy bits. Pointy, pointy. You can see how quickly I'm chucking this on, which is sort of the whole point of doing this kind of test. So something like that. My next door neighbour appears to be making some really weird noises. I don't know if you can hear that. And then wiggy time. So obviously it's not properly put on or anything. I couldn't find my contacts just now, which is not particularly helpful. Not for this, because it would have been great to have the orange eyes in just to see what difference it made. But I actually don't hate it. Ta-da! Bear in mind I've done this in sort of 5 minutes. If I were to take a bit longer, I actually think, and make sort of, they're not even on both sides and stuff, I actually think this could work. So yay, maybe saving myself 3 hours. Well, there we go. That's that really. That was all that I was going to do, was a quick makeup test. Maybe have to cut some of this hair It's very long and it gets very, very hot. Although, come October, end of October, I might be pleased to be a little bit warmer. So, yeah. See you again. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. That is my plan. Obviously, any of you that are going on the Sunday next week of London MCM, please come and say hi. If you are seeing this and you are there, I would love to know, because I don't get a lot of. I've got sort of what, 20 subscribers or something at the moment, so not a huge amount. But some of my videos have had over 100 views, so that would be amazing if you've seen it. I'd love to meet you and what you think, and anything that I can improve is great. That's it. That's it for this week. Mumble, mumble, mumble. Next week, because sorry, because on the Sunday I will be at MCM. This will no doubt be late. Seems like it's becoming a habit, although it seems to be Sundays that I end up going to these cons. But I would really like to put in the video or from the actual con, otherwise I feel like these are a bit of a waste. If there's anything for me to show you, if I get anything done next week that I am pleased with, perhaps I'll video that, put that up early, and then do another one with actual footage from the con. But I'm not going to set myself too high expectations, because, I mean, it's taken me like a month to make this little book, which actually only took me about 4 hours maybe. By the way, this book, it was only £3, obviously. I'll print all the stuff off, but yeah, £3 from the works, and yeah, really, really good buy actually. There's 60 pages in it. I've only gone with, it's about 18 pages long, I think, this, and that includes the making of, and then also stuff like changing these over, and that sort of thing, just to explain. There you go, I've got a little picture of the blue, the blue, they're not blue at all, the purple booties, and the new ones, and also just a picture of the difference between the claws. I didn't have a more up-to-date picture at that point when I was making this, so I just went with that, because actually I'll be wearing them, so I can just show this is what they were like, this is what they're like now, which I think is sufficient. And I might just add one page in there with the stuff about the makeup as well. Anyway, so guys, have an amazing week. If any of you are con crushing, good luck. Have lots of caffeine. Obviously, eat, take a break, sleep. Don't work too late, because you know what will happen. You'll make mistakes. Good luck, and I'll see you next week. Bye.